morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the Blind Press YouTube channel and coffee stream, episode 348. It is Friday, and usually I would have a guest today, but this week has just been crazy. I wasn't able to find a guest, and I'm feeling just kind of out of it today, so I'm just gonna do a chilled out stream. I've got some news pulled up, and we'll just have a nice chat. And let's see who's here today. All You Need is here. Sunseal Silverfall is here. Gunfox is here. Hello, all of you who have said hi, and those of you who have not. I hope you guys are having a good Friday. And the U.S. still does not have a frickin' president declared, and that's pretty much all I'm going to say on that. Next, why did I just open a new tab? That was stupid. Let's see. Hello, Ghost Dog. Leo Prime 75. Hello, welcome. I hope you're all doing awesomely today. I am going to jump right in and start sharing the screen, and we're going to start with some news. I do encourage all of you to please hit up that Streamlabs, which can be found at blindpress.net, or become a patron. Let me just go over here and close a couple windows that I don't need anymore. That one. And that one. Okay. Close that window, please. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Now I can share the screens that I want to share. Perfect. Okay. Hello, Green Badger. There is massive voter fraud. Oh, I know. I know. It's crazy. It's absolutely insane, the amount of voter fraud that's going on here. Hello, Costin. Welcome. Yeah, this is... And what's ridiculous is that because Hillary cried voter fraud in 2016 when there was no voter fraud, now that Trump is calling voter fraud when there is, everyone's just going to be like, oh, he's a sore loser, ha ha ha. It's like, no, you assholes. All right. Our first story is about Netflix. Let's see. I know what the title of the stream is referring to right off the top. Oh, don't spoil it, Costin. Don't spoil it. That's coming. It's coming. Don't spoil it. So here we go. Let's see. So, this story is about Netflix. It says Netflix files copyright claims against tweets criticizing movie and trailer. The company filed takedowns against its own trailer when shared in critical tweets. Jesus Christ, Netflix. Oh boy. All right, let's get to this article here. Turn this up. Okay.
Netflix is apparently fighting controversy about a film on its platform by issuing copyright takedown requests against tweets that include negative commentary about the movie, according to a new report.
Yeah, that makes you look great, Netflix. Here, let's DMCA free speech Yes, that's gonna look great for you.
Torrent Freak. Link. Reported today. Link. Reported today that Netflix has sent dozens of takedown requests to Twitter targeting specific posts that criticize the movie Cuties, Mignons, a French film written and directed by Maimouna Ducré and released in the United States on Netflix in September. While the tweets are still live, except where the original posters deleted them, the videos attached to the posts now display messages reading, "This media has been disabled in response to a report by the copyright owner."
You guys are morons. It's fair use, you asswipes. Exactly. Absolutely, Gunfox. You are absolutely right. I'm so goddamn hungry I could eat boiled owl's guts. Ew. That's oddly specific.
Heading Level 2. Cuties is a coming-of-age drama about a black girl in France on the cusp of adolescence. She rebels
No, it's
against her
not a
immigrant parents' traditional
coming
culture,
of
in
age
which women
drama.
remain
Shut
quietly
up.
covered up at home, by going overboard in the opposite direction, taking to dance and social media to express a sexuality she is too young to understand the implications of and too new to Western culture to know how to frame it all. Ducouré won a Chrome has new link directing award for the film at the 2020 Sundance Film Festival in January.
It's I love how they're framing this with she took to social media and danced. She was twerking. Oh my god. This is disingenuous
Directing
reporting.
award for the film at the Nurse. Link. A discussion to be had. About the actual film and to what degree it is or does not convey its messaging and themes. Here in the United States, however, the film's marketing was instantly politicized before the film itself became available to watch.
It was politicized? Really? Really? Or was it called out for what it was? It is a pedo movie, Gunfox.
Detractors took a look at the poster, which depicted a troupe of 11-year-old dancers in suggestive poses, and decried it as only a half step away from child pornography. Republican politicians. Link. Joined the fray. And a grand jury in Tyler County, Texas returned. Link. An indictment against Netflix and its CEO Reed Hastings on September 23rd, accusing them of promotion of lewd visual material depicting a child.
Yeah.
You are currently... Netflix executives repeatedly disputed those claims. Cuties is a social commentary against the sexualization of young children, Netflix said after the indictment. This charge is without merit and we stand by the film. Chrome had...
Oh my god. There is so much wrong with Cuties and so much wrong with the way it was done and oh man. You stand by the film, do you? You know the worst thing about the child twerking is as a film it probably required multiple takes. Yep. The girls are all under 15. Yep. They are. And the casting. Like what parents took their kids to that casting, looked what was going on and was like, "Yeah, I'm okay with my daughter doing that." You know what I mean? Like holy shit.
A few days later, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos Link said at a virtual event, "It's a little surprising in 2020 America that we're having a discussion about censoring storytelling. It's a film that is very misunderstood with some audiences, uniquely within the United States. The film speaks for itself. It's a very personal coming-of-age film, it's the director's story, and the film has obviously played very well at Sundance without any of this controversy and played in theaters throughout Europe without any of this controversy."
I'm sure.
In content advertisement, complimentary. Advertise. Third-party ad content.
Is there more of this story or what?
Save frame container. Frame and up. Third-party ad content. And up. Heading level
Jesus.
Link which are. Link. Takedown. Chrome has new window. Heading level Netflix's. Link. Takedown requests, which are. Link. Still rolling in today. Seem only to have targeted tweets that described the film negatively, although some more than others. Imagine a child seeing this number Cuties number Netflix number cancel Netflix Cuties.
Well, that's stupid. It's rated MA. How would they see it?
Chrome has
What do you expect? They're French.
Link. One message. Read. Link. Read. Warning contains explicit content. Another. Link. Similar message. Said. Some of it said. Go ahead and try to justify how this film is an appropriate representation of 11-year-olds. I'll wait. Cancel Netflix.
No, cancel Netflix?
Some of the dozens of tweets Netflix issued DMCA claims against used clips from the actual movie. Torrent Freak reports, in which case Netflix's claims are understandable. However, many of the tweets in question share the film's trailer, which is widely and publicly available.
Yeah.
Link. On YouTube. For anyone to view or share. Chrome. One person who shared the trailer told Torrent Freak that she didn't do anything wrong in doing so. Someone posted the trailer and I retweeted it and stated how I felt about the movie. She said, I believe people have the right to be upset about the movie. If people share the trailer and say go watch it, it's not a problem. But if someone disagrees with it, it's a problem, she added. Chrome has...
Yeah, which is a double standard, and it's ridiculous. And people
window.
Absolutely do have a right to say how they feel about something. Speaking out against the sexualizing of children by sexualizing children. Yeah. That's yeah. Breaking news. Lawsuits in the following states over voter fraud: Arizona, Georgia, Nevada, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wyoming? Or no, Wisconsin, sorry.
Chrome has...
Texas, and Ohio, and 5 U.S. postal workers charged with... Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Chrome has new window.
This is going to turn into another Bush versus Gore. That's what this is going to be. Pinkala's right. Okay. Next story. The titular article. Okay. Here we go. Where are we here? Holy crap, I am like freaking exhausted. Let's see. Oh, breaking news. Pennsylvania court orders that poll watchers must be within readable sight of ballots, and have charged 29 people in PA with contempt of court. Wow. Jesus. This is insane. So, Whole Foods grocery chain bans employees from wearing poppy. 'Cause potato, I guess. Let's take a... Oh, wow, there's like 2,400 comments. Holy shit. Let's see here. Okay.
Less than a week before millions of Canadians are set to pay their respects to veterans by wearing a poppy, a national grocery store chain has banned its employees from wearing the symbol of remembrance while on the job.
Why?
U.S.-based Whole Foods Market says poppies aren't allowed under its recently updated uniform policy, which affects employees at its 14 locations across Canada.
Why?
But the company won't say why.
Why?
An employee of the Whole Foods in Ottawa says she was told by a supervisor that wearing the poppy would be seen as supporting a cause. You are correct.
Duh!
I was basically told, if they allowed this one particular cause, then it would open up the door so that they would have to allow or consider allowing other causes, said the employee. CBC News has agreed not to name her as she is concerned about reprisals at her job.
I'm sorry. Isn't Whole Foods the store that asks you if you want to donate to hungry kids after you're done buying your food? Isn't isn't this the isn't this the store? I thought this was the store that when you finish buying your groceries, they're like, "Would you like to donate to like hungry like kids of America or something like that?" Isn't that supporting a cause? Whole Foods was bought out by Amazon. I okay, but isn't that what they did? I swear Whole Foods was that company that was like, "Would you like to donate to Hungry Kids of America when you're done when like as you're trying to check out with your food?" Or like, yes, it is. Okay, yeah, see? That's supporting a cause. But it's okay to support that cause, but fuck the veterans, right? Just like fuck the police, right? Are you serious? Wow. Wow, Whole Foods. And the fact that this happens, like, because I don't, do we even have a Whole Foods in town? I don't know if we do. But like a week before Remembrance Day, holy shit. This is insane.
I was in shock actually. I was appalled. I couldn't believe it.
No kidding. I would be too. I would, I'd be like, fuck, man, if I didn't need this money, I'd leave right now, like supporting a cause. Wow.
An employment lawyer says the puppy could be considered a display of a political belief and thus not fall under Ontario's Human Rights Code, leaving it up to employers to decide whether to allow employees to wear one. CBC.
Display of a political belief. Supporting and remembering dead soldiers is displaying a political belief. Because apparently all soldiers have the same political beliefs. They are all monolithic. All of them have the exact same ideology. Like, I know the military needs people to, be a unit, but not that much of a unit. Jesus Christ. Come on. Sam's Club has better deals than Whole Foods. Well, yeah. This is insane. Hi, Functional. Leo Prime says that's BS. It is. It's absolutely BS. This is remembering the fallen is a political belief. Okay, cool.
That employee said in the past few years, she's been able to wear a poppy, a symbol of remembrance that harkens back to the First World War, while on the job, but this year was different. The Whole Foods uniform consists of an apron, coat or vest, a hat and name badge.
You know what I'd do? I would show up, because it's an apron, right? So I would pin, like, all of, I would just put on, my poppy underneath my apron. And so that when my, apron came off, I would just have I would still have my poppy. I would, like, this is stupid. Honestly, I would wear my poppy anyway. I'd be like, freaking, go ahead. Go ahead. Fire me for remembering the fallen. You go ahead. Because even if it's not under the Human Rights Code, you are still gonna look bad as fuck. And That's, oh wow. Sobeys has better deals than Whole Foods or Whole Fucks. Hey, Irate.
A puppy does not comply with that policy, the company confirmed, but did not provide a reason why. Ontario Premier Doug Ford said Friday he'll make link it illegal for link it illegal for businesses in the province to prohibit employees from wearing poppies.
Good.
Period. Heading level 2. The first poppies were distributed in Canada in 1921. The donations they bring in are an important source of revenue for the Royal Canadian Legion that goes toward helping ex-servicemen and women buy food and obtain shelter and medical attention. Less than a week before millions of Canadians are set to pay their respects to veterans by wearing a poppy, a national grocery store chain, U.S.
So yeah, that's that story. It's a political. It may be considered a political belief to remember the fallen soldiers that have fought for our country's freedom, regardless of their ideology, regardless of their religion, regardless of their race. They still died for us. But fuck you and your poppy, apparently, because you can't remember those people at our store if you are working there. And that is ridiculous. I'm sorry. That is. That is just stupid. All right. So Macron actually spoke to Trudeau finally, because he spoke to Francois Legault last week about I believe the beheadings and everything, and didn't speak to Trudeau. Um, they finally have spoken. Never forgive, never forget. Remember the fallen. Oh God. Oh, Sobeys can be expensive, Costin, but it's Whole Foods is even more expensive than Sobeys, is what Pincalo was trying to say. But there are some pretty good deals at Sobeys if you know where to look. Sometimes their deals aren't that great, but Pincalo has been able to find some really great deals at Sobeys. He's come home with some really great purchases. So yeah, Trudeau and Macron finally spoke. Trudeau and Macron speak after cartoon remark controversy. Yeah, controversy indeed. Um. Oh Jesus, you mean absolutely ridiculously pussy whipped response is what I wish could be said. Um. Oh, let's see. So true. I just may have to make a specialty look foods t-shirt. How close are we to the US Canada border? I think it's 3 hours to both Erie and Detroit. Yeah, I think it's about 3 hours each way. My buddy lives in Canada but shops in the US. My mom used to do that a lot. She would go to Buffalo and she would go shopping in Buffalo. Uh, she hasn't done that in a few years, but she did used to do that quite often. Especially when my little sister was younger, toddler, small child age, because she would go across the border to the Old Navies and whatever in Buffalo and get kids' clothes for ridiculously cheap prices. So, yeah. Let's see. They look like they're going to kiss in that picture. But he lives like 15 minutes from the border. Oh, okay. All right. Let's turn up the volume. I've discovered that for some reason it won't let me turn up the volume while my headphones are unplugged, but it will while they are plugged in. So,
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has spoken with his French counterpart amid controversy over recent comments he made about free expression. Mr. Trudeau expressed Canada's solidarity with the people of France following the recent terror attacks.
except he didn't call them terror attacks, and yeah.
A teacher was beheaded in a Paris suburb after showing cartoons of the Prophet Muhammad to some of his pupils. Mr. Trudeau's remarks last week about freedom of expression were criticized in both Canada and France.
As they rightfully should have been, they were horrible. They were absolutely just no spine behind them. No, like, absolutely nothing. If I lived closer to the border, I'd probably shop there. We are exactly 100 miles from the closest border entry point. Ah!
French President Emmanuel Macron's defense of the publication of the cartoons sparked protests in some Muslim-majority countries.
Yeah, well, they can shut up because they don't live in France. And if they don't like the fact that their prophet is published in cartoons in France, well, then they can stay out of France and not read the cartoons and therefore not commit blasphemy in their religion. Oh, wait. That doesn't work for them, because as long as they know that someone else is doing something that they consider blasphemous. Ugh.
There have been calls in some countries for a boycott of French goods.
Yeah, okay, cool. Cut off your nose to spite your face.
Heading level 2, Mr. Trudeau condemned the recent attacks in France, including a deadly knife attack on a church in Nice, the third suspected Islamist attack in the country in little more than a month.
Yeah, it's
But in a response to question about the right to show a caricature of the Prophet Muhammad, he said freedom of expression is not without limits.
It's okay. Yes and no.
We owe it to ourselves to act with respect for others and to seek not to arbitrarily or unnecessarily injure those with whom we are sharing a society and a planet. You are current.
Publishing a cartoon of one's religious figure is not painful to them. I'm sorry, it's not. They may consider it a blasphemy, but then that's why they don't have to consume that content.
He added, we do not have the right, for example, to shout fire in a movie theater crowded with people. There are always limits.
Shouting fire in a crowded movie theater is not the same as drawing a picture, and you know it, you dumb motherfucker. Oh. This makes me angry. Why is our Prime Minister such a limp-wristed wimp?
Heading level 2. On Tuesday, Mr. Macron spoke by phone with the Premier of the Canadian province of Quebec, François Legault, to thank him for his words of support in the wake of the attacks. Mr. Legault said he had condemned without reservation what had taken place in France. Twitter tweet.
Because he should.
And 1px transparent, but Mr. Macron did not place a call to Mr. Trudeau that day, seen as a snub by the French leader, especially as both men are viewed as like-minded political allies.
Yeah, they are, but Trudeau was being kind of a jerk.
Mr. Trudeau has since clarified his earlier remarks, saying it is important to continue defending freedom of expression, freedom of speech.
So he backpedaled, is basically what you're saying. He backpedaled because he realized, oh shit, I done messed up.
He added, our artists help us reflect and challenge our views and they contribute to our society, and we will always continue to defend freedom of expression.
Yep, major backpedal. He's backpedaling so hard he's gonna snap that bike chain.
Heading level 2. What about the cult? Today, Mr. Trudeau and Mr. Macron spoke by phone on Thursday, suggesting the two leaders were mending fences over the remarks. According to a readout from the Prime Minister's office, Mr. Trudeau expressed Canada's solidarity with the people of France following recent terrorist attacks and violence, and the two agreed on the importance of defending freedom of expression and human rights, and on their shared commitment to fighting terrorism and violent extremism.
Which means Macron went, really? Really? Come on now. If Biden wins, you'll have a better leader than the U.S. No. We'll have the same leader. We will have the same style of leader at that point.
Heading level 2. List 4 item.
That's what we will have. Our government right now with Trudeau and Chrystia Freeland is pretty much what a Biden-Harris government looks like. Or would look like. Oh, I forgot to close that window. Okay, there we go. Next story. The wonderful new Democrats have decided that they want to spend people's money again. Are we surprised? I'm not surprised. Let's see here. Here we go. NDP proposes taxes on wealthy Canadians. Access profits in House of Commons motion. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. It's such a surprise. Okay, here we go.
New Democratic Party leader Jack Meeting says his party will call for a new tax on wealthy Canadians and another on businesses that have profited excessively during the COVID-19 pandemic when it set the topic of debate in the House of Commons on Thursday.
So you're punishing people who managed not to lose their businesses and managed to make some money during this whole process. Is that what you're saying? What is with you and the Liberals? The Liberals want to punish people for working. The NDP want to punish businesses for not failing.
At a news conference today, Sim said workers, families and small businesses shouldn't bear the burden of paying down the public debt incurred by the federal government to fund COVID-19 support measures.
Okay, but
to pay for the programs, the help that people need, it should not be families, and people, and workers, and small businesses who have struggled, Singh told reporters. It should be those who have profited off the pandemic. It should be the ultra-wealthy that contribute their fair share.
The ultra-wealthy have been hit too, and profited off the pandemic. This is crazy.
The NDP will propose a motion calling for a tax on people with fortunes over $20 million on its first opposition day, when opposition parties get to choose the agenda. The text of the non-binding motion, viewed by CBC News, says the tax should be set at 1% of a family's wealth. It also calls for an excess profit tax on big corporations that the NDP says have been profiteering from the pandemic.
Profiteering from the pandemic? Oh no, Pincolo, they're coming for you, you pandemic profiteer. No, you're too small. That's good.
The motion says revenue raised from the new taxes should be used to fund health care, housing and other social programs, such as a guaranteed livable income.
Of course. Of course. Because why should people want to work? Just let them sit at home and give them money.
List 1 item.
That'll keep the society going.
Bullet link. End list one bullet. Link end NDP link. Crow NDPMP Peter Julian asked the Parliamentary Budget Office PBO in July to estimate the impact such a tax would have. The link. PBO estimated 13,800 Canadian families would pay the tax.
13,800 people. That is a tiny amount of people.
And that it would bring in $5.6 billion in just 2020 to 2021.
Holy shit. Way to single out people. Holy crap.
New Democratic Party leader Jack Meeting says his party will call for a new tax on wealthy Canadians and another on businesses that have profited at a
Well, it's repeating. It put me back up to the top of the thing. That is 13,800 families, $5 billion. That is... I mean, I don't... I don't know how to feel about that. Biden is now saying he won the election. Of course he is. So this is a fairly apt story for right now. Let's see here. And it's fairly apropos for what we're dealing with right now. Go away. No. Piss off. I just want to read this. No. No. Give me the story. You bastards. I just want the story. Okay, let's see here. I think it's put me below the story. Yep. It would appear so. Holy crap. Where's the body of this article? Holy shit. This is frustrating. I found the text of it, most of it this morning. Is it not translating well onto the computer? Oh, nope, here we go. I think we're gonna find it here. Hello? Oh, of course I do. Well, then we're just gonna have to not read that story. Unfortunately. And it was cool. It was about Apophis. I wanted to read about Apophis. That's annoying. Maybe I'll try and just read it to you guys after. We have next story. Oh man, that really makes me sad. I wanted to read that story. I wanted to read about Apophis, damn it. That makes me sad. Okay, let's see. So this guy apparently accused his ex of immigration fraud to try and get spousal support from them. BC man loses bid for spousal support after falsely reporting former partner for immigration fraud. I don't know how you figured you'd get spousal support if you were falsely weird. There we go. Let's see. Hold on. Functional, you want to join me for the rest of the show, my friend? I'm, Here, let me grab the link for you. We'll get functional on, we'll finish this story, and then we will go back to the meteorite, or the Apophis story. Where am I here? Dr. Functional. Okay. Dr. Functional will be joining us soon. Where are we here? Okay. So, this guy, alright, hold on, let me jump over here. Wrong way. There we go.
Hello, BP, and hello, chat. What's going on?
Hey, Functional, how are you?
I'm doing fairly well today, you know. It's a nice warm day in our little corner of the world.
Finally. Not for much longer.
Finally, but my heater's still going, so it's like, I'm dying here. But no, it's lovely. It's great. It really helps with the old joints, you know.
I bet. So this dude in BC, I guess reported his ex for immigration fraud in a bid to get spousal support. I don't know. Let's see what he says here. It says, this says here, a BC man has lost his bid for spousal support from a woman he falsely reported to immigration authorities for fraud after the collapse of their relationship. According to the BC Supreme Court ruling, this CH, so I guess that's the person, wrote a letter titled Immigration Marriage Fraud report on his company's letterhead within months of splitting up with his ex. So, CH is his initials.
Yeah, his initials and her initials are XG.
XG, yeah. So CH had previously sponsored XG and her son for permanent residence status, but as their marriage-like relationship broke down, the investment advisor accused XG of beating him, threatening a witness, and dating with some men.
For money.
With some men for money. That's a weird sentence.
Sounds pretty suspect already.
It does. Dating with some men for...
I mean, I don't want to jump to any conclusions, but my first thoughts, XG, what I know about Canadian goings-on, because my father was involved in something like this.
Yeah.
XG sounds Chinese.
Yes, it does.
Just gonna say it. So this is a common thing where they will come on the recommendation of a citizen, attempt to get their permanent resident status, and then fuck off. So this is not an uncommon thing, but I wonder if there's more information to the story.
Yeah, this sounds weird.
Exactly, Pinkalo. Chinese mail order brides. Exactly. My father got one from Russia. You know, got paid a sum of money, and I mean, at least with those two, with my father and his woman, it was more amicable. They knew it wasn't. If it wasn't going to lead anywhere, then that was fine. They would still help each other out, and then go their separate ways, and that was fine. They were both happy with the arrangement. They both won. This seems like it's just a shit show.
It does. So it says in the ensuing court battle between the couple, CH then sought $1,500 a month from XG, along with $216,000 for what he claimed should be his share of the appreciation in her house's value during the length of their marriage. Wow.
That's
So wait, XG was the person he brought over?
Yeah, along with her son, apparently, according to this article.
So he expects her to pay him money when she's been, I guess she was already a permanent resident or a visa holder, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not telling us whether or not what the nitty gritty, substance is, but it is saying, to me, CH seems like he's overreaching.
Yeah.
He seems like he's overplaying his hand a bit. It's not uncommon for people in that part of the world to sell what property they have that have been passed down through the generations to their family, make a killing on the sale, move to Canada or United States or Britain or whatever, and live off that million and a half, 2 million that they made. And so, it makes sense that she bought the house. Yeah, she put the down payment. He was the legal resident, so he probably had to co-sign.
Right.
Blah 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 blah. I mean, there are actual laws on the books here that, thank you to people in bed with China, Trudeau, that they can just come over here, buy property, even though they don't live here, they don't have any sort of visa or residency here.
Yeah.
Which is a problem into itself.
That's a huge problem. Well, and we have a lot of there's a lot of immigrants that own property that then rent it out. Right.
In Toronto alone, there's of the vacancy rate of new condos, they suspect about 40% are at least 40% are foreign owned, generally in China or India, and are vacant.
Jesus.
They're left vacant. Yeah. They buy them up so that they appreciate in value. If they can, especially with COVID, it kind of put a hamper onto this. If they can rent it out to students with visas who are coming from their country to here, then they have, a place to stay. They're in school, blah, 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 blah. So they're making a little bit more money off in addition to the appreciation value going up. But a lot of them are just left vacant, and it's really killing the rental market.
Yeah. No wonder there's nowhere to go.
Yeah, right. And the places you do go are more expensive than having a mortgage for, say, a condo.
Yep. So it says Justice Gordon Funt. I love the work of Alan Funt.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
Shaven leg. Justice Gordon Funt said CH's claims of fraud, violence, witness threatening, and working in the sex trade were not shown at trial to be to be other than baseless assertions. An immigrant applying for permanent residency status is vulnerable to threats, intimidation, and unfounded accusations, Funt wrote. I find CH's report to the immigration authorities, what is it? Amid serious relationship, or related to serious allegations were made maliciously by him.
Whether or not it's malicious is irrelevant. Did she break
The
policy, the law? And just to address what Pincalo said in chat, he says, I'm not wrong. According to his clients, about 60% is the number, and about 60% of that is India, about 40% is China. It's all a real estate game for the realtors to have holdings for their own ventures. And Pincalo, who's making the most off of that? It's the banks. The banks are making a killing off of this, even though it's not exactly. It's technically legal, but it's not exactly ethical.
Yeah.
And it's not in the best interests of the citizenry.
No, it's not.
So it's all people who are in charge, who have power. They're making money off of it.
Oh, yeah.
Meh. What you gonna do?
So this says, according to the ruling, CH and XG were both divorced when they met online in 2014. CH had separated from his former spouse a month earlier. XG moved from China to Canada. Good call there, Functional. With her 16-year-old son the previous January and bought a home worth $1.7
Called it
million in Burnaby.
How spot on was that prediction?
Ooh.
She's from China, a nearly $2 million home in one of the most luxurious parts of Canada in BC, in Burnaby. Burnaby is Burnaby. I think Toronto is expensive. Like in the more upper crust areas, the top echelon areas of the, my sister's got a $24 million home just up the street from me. But she didn't buy it for 24. That was just the value. They bought it for closer to 1.7.
Yeah.
But Burnaby, for 1.7, the value of the home must be closer to 60 or 70 million. Again, everybody's got to remember, there's a very distinct difference in real estate when it comes to value and sale prices.
Yeah.
Because the market is constantly in flux. And anyway. But how spot on was that call? Jeez, even I'm swimming in pride right now.
That was awesome. Even my mom, she bought her house for under $300,000 in 2000 and
early 2K?
11, I think.
Okay, later to 2010.
And just sold it for $560 something.
Wow, good woman.
So
almost doubling her investment. Yeah.
Yeah, that was. Could you just, and this was, not even in Toronto or anything could you imagine?
Yeah, of course.
In Toronto or Burnaby, like you said, that house has got to be worth.
Yeah, I said, my sister, if she and her husband were to sell their house now, which is again worth, or the purchase price was about $1.5 million, let's say, she could easily make $3.5 million, $4 million.
Oh yeah.
On a sale today.
That's crazy.
It's a good investment. Real estate has always been a good investment. It's just the dirty little fingers that get into and abuse the system.
So yeah,
let's learn more about these people, because it does.
So they met in 2014 face to face and he moved into XG's home 10 days later.
Because she wants that status. She wants the residency status of being a Canadian.
Yeah. A little more than 3 years later, the couple separated and the legal battle for spousal support began. CH asked for $1,500 a month and half the money the pair earned from renting out a suite in the basement. That's where that 216,000 number came from.
Oh, okay. That
Rental
makes sense
income.
That I retract what I stated earlier, that it seemed like it might be overreach on his part. No, he just wants, they were together. There might not be a marriage contract in place, but at least he could claim some of that money. I don't think that the $1,500 a month.
No, I don't think
but
spousal support is. I don't think that's. I think that's an overreach, but I think the wanting his share of the rental income is.
sure, yeah,
is
because she
fair.
probably took it and put it right towards the mortgage, right?
Yeah. I think that's a fair. Like, if I was the judge, I'd be like, no, you don't get spousal support, but you do get your half of the rental income.
And it says in the next sentence, XG counterclaim with a request of $1,200, $1,000 a month for 12 months. That, at least they're negotiating on it. She admits that, yeah, okay, I do owe him some money. That's how these things kind of always go, BP. The person claiming for damages or restitution, you highball it just a little bit, so that when they bring it down, it's kind of like, okay, well.
Oh, see, it says, according to Funt's ruling, CH told the court, actually, to be honest, my lord, I only raised spousal support because XG was seeking spousal support. So you're just being an asshole.
Well, no, because if she initially sought spousal support for her now adult child, her 18-year-old, 2014, so he's now in his 20s.
Yeah. Well,
even though he was a 16-year-old at the time.
Spousal support is different from child support, though. Spousal support would be for her, not for.
Right. You're right. You're right. You're right.
But
weird.
Yeah,
because we don't know what he does. What he does for work.
Yeah, we don't know what either of them do for jobs.
Yeah, because again, in the typical case, it's usually somebody who's a working man. Mm-hmm. They're not rich, but they're not poor. They're just a working man, and he probably looks at her finances and what she throws out when they were together and says, well, you know what? Maybe I can get a piece. So maybe it is a little bit overreach. Maybe he's getting a little too greedy. I don't think that this seems like a fraudulent claim of her immigration fraud. I think the finances are where he's acting a little suspect.
Oh, snap. This next sentence is, it said that, wait, is it? It says that CH claimed that they were, that he was used for permanent residency status. Mm-hmm. But Funt rejected that claim because, XG presented medical reports that proved they had consulted fertility clinics together.
I mean, yes, but that doesn't prove that she wasn't just using him.
Yeah, that's true.
And even then, when you see, again, I'm no expert, chat. Like, I'm not an expert here in this kind of a situation. I only know what I know from my experiences with my family. But I know that they had to be together for 10 years. Otherwise, her application status would have been under review. It wouldn't have been negated, but they would have re-reviewed her status in the applications process to get permanent resident status. Could be different than 10 years, but again, with the timing of this specific case, it seems like it's a pretty short relationship that was promptly broken off after 3 years. So,
So this says, after their relationship broke up, CH sent his ex-partner an email with a hyperlink to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. Holy shit, dude. The email included a hyperlink to the Immigration and Refugee Protection Act. Given that CH reported XG to the immigration authorities 2 weeks later, Funt agreed that with XG's lawyer, the hyperlink was an obvious attempt to threaten and
Oh,
intimidate.
fuck off. You're
Yeah.
going to give somebody a piece of actual government legislation,
think that
and that's a threat?
I don't think that's a threat. I don't think that's a threat at all.
Yeah, JP, it might be a lot shorter than 10 years, but I mean, I know that there's a period.
I don't think that it's sending somebody a link to a piece of legislation in itself constitutes a threat.
Mm-hmm. And as we know, Canada is very soft on immigration and immigration. I don't want to say fraud, but fraud.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's crazy. So it says that in deciding the case, Fun said that there was very little evidence of any property in China behind other than some possible furnishings in an apartment in Wuhan. Huh.
Oh, she's from Wuhan.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. No, I'm just fucking.
But he said
around.
it would be unfair to essentially condone CH's false report to the immigration authorities by giving him the special support he was seeking.
Again, I don't see how it's a false report. Now, I do agree that it might be unfair that if she got her ass kicked back to China, he shouldn't get any monetary spousal support or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's one or the other, buddy.
Funt noted that CH was trying to hurt his ex-partner financially by having her removed from the country, but while seeking an economic benefit for himself.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that. If he's seeking monthly monies from her, but still wants her deported, I could see that idea being, supportable, but I don't think he was as big bad intimidation guy as they're making it out to be.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're just going by the article, right? We don't have the transcript. Yeah. We don't have stuff we don't have how his demeanor, audio of his demeanor.
Yeah, we don't have all the facts in the case. We don't know what's in their hearts and minds.
Yeah.
It's all speculation at what we're given in the article. And JP says legally not a threat, but that's how I would threaten someone if I was dumb and felt like being a smartass. Yeah, I mean we've sort of conflated, and I chalk this up to social media being what it is. There are threats, which are, threats to your personhood, threats to your financial status, all sorts of actual genuine threats. And then there are threats of saying, well, if you don't make right on your promises or what we agree upon, then, there's this threat of legal prosecution and legal avenues. That happens all the time. And it's not a crime to to try to work something out with someone. In fact, the law is supposed to encourage people to work out their differences outside of the courts and the law before having to take it to the courts. And that's the spirit of the law, is that it's there as sort of a final measure when no agreements or can be made to settle whatever beef they have.
I'm fairly sure my mother's had to send links for the Family Responsibility Office to her ex.
Yeah, landlords can send that kind of stuff. No, not threats.
That's not a threat. That's that's her going, hey, dumbass.
Here's the information at hand. Notice where you might be in the wrong in the eyes of the law. Yeah. Let's make good on this, or else I might have to pursue legal.
Yeah,
like we were
exactly.
Just saying.
And like you said, it's the same with landlords. That would be like saying a landlord putting an eviction notice on your door is a threat
for non-payment of rent or something. Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, it's not. It's just not.
Oh boy.
I don't understand why people are so soft. now.
I'm crazy sometimes. Soft and crazy. It's a dangerous combination.
It's just
Excuse me.
and
Excuse
the
me.
fact
Jeez.
that like it was so hard for me to find news today that wasn't election.
I linked you
election.
something that was a big news story. Well, big
Oh,
in
the
the.
YouTube thing. I saw the CBC.
No, the police officer that
Or-
finally got convicted.
Yeah. So I was wondering if you wanted to talk about that really
Sure.
quick. Actually, I'm kind of glad you're here.
We don't have to bring it up on.
No, I know, because CBC are dicks. They'll.
But I can talk about it. So there was a police officer. His name from Toronto. His name was DeFonte Miller.
No, it was
no, the Mike Terry. Yes, and his brother
was the
DeFonte was the criminal in this case.
Yeah.
DeFonte was breaking into this off-duty police officer's car. He and his brother chased the guy down. Now here's where it gets dicey.
Yeah.
They beat him with a pipe, ruptured his eye. So that unto itself, sure, that's taking it to the extreme, especially knowing what he knows and being a peace officer.
Yes.
He could have leveled a beating on him with his fists and probably escaped the 9-month jail term that he now has to serve. He might have still been taken off of active, what do you call it, street duty?
Yeah, he could have been.
He could have been put behind a desk on administrative leave. Any of these other things, should he not have used the pipe and beaten this kid severely?
Yeah.
But they could have given him a couple good shots with their fists, called their buddies on the police force, and say, "Pick this guy up. He just broke into my car."
Yeah.
Hands are clean, done. But no, he did take, and it's another case of police brutality. That is actual police brutality, even though he wasn't on the job. In uniform, and saying, okay, well, you fucked up. You didn't do it the right way. You get jail time. So I'm not sad. I'm the only part I'm kind of miffed at is that a police officer would take it to such extremes. Yeah. Even though I do believe that, if somebody's going to assault your property, steal from you or your person, you do have the right, even though in Canada we don't really have that right, to defend yourself. Or your property.
There's defending yourself. Like, he could have very easily, like you said, he could have chased him down, knocked him to the ground. Maybe pinned him or something.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Had his brother hey, here, take out your phone, call
my supervisor right now.
Here's his
they'll
number,
have
blah,
four
blah, blah,
unis.
blah.
They'll have 4 unis on the scene in minutes. Like, cops look out for their own.
Yeah.
But no, they decided after they chased him down that they were going to beat him with metal pipes, and that's not kosher, my dude.
Yeah, now this kid has no eye. He has got one eye.
He got JP. They ruptured the kid's left eye. He no longer has an eye in his left, and swollen, severely beaten. He now gets 9 months in prison.
Yeah.
For assault.
He's
aggravated assault.
That kid's probably going to be going and getting a prosthetic eye from one of the few ocularists in Canada now.
Yeah, sure. And he'll be taken care of by the police insurance and all that. Yep. The cops involved, he's never going to see police work again. He's probably they didn't actually cover what that aspect of the case is, but he's probably never going to be a police officer again. He probably lost his pension and any protections he had as a former peace officer. So he's going to have to serve his, 6 to 9 month jail sentence. He's going to come out and he's going to have to start his life over again in knowing what he did and living with that. And I think in the grand scheme of things, that's an acceptable punishment because we don't know exactly how much the restitution will be paid from the Toronto Police Services to DeFonte.
Yeah.
Which, let's face it, he'll get paid.
Oh yeah, the city will settle.
Yep, he'll get a huge settlement and he'll have top-notch health care for everything that happened to him as a result of this assault.
Yeah. Which, in the cases of and I saw in the CBC national video, there's this one clip where I can't remember who it was, but it was some official, and he goes, we don't want to see police officers assaulting people and being held accountable. We just want to see police officers not assaulting people.
Yeah.
And it's like,
it's not too much to ask.
Well, yeah, of course. But I mean, aren't you glad that this guy was held accountable and that it wasn't swept under the rug? Like,
yeah, of course. I mean, we see this. I told you about the guy last time I was on the show who swung the woman down face first into the floor.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we do prosecute the bad ones.
Yeah.
So the narrative up here that BLM is trying to infect us with doesn't hold any water. And that's why, for the most part, Canada's kind of rejected the notions of BLM's, police brutality is everywhere. It's everywhere in white Western world. It's like, well, we're not really the white Western world. Yes, predominantly white, but we just got here first. The difference is we opened our doors and we don't care what you look like, where you're from. As long as you can contribute to the society and you want to be a Canadian, there's the door. Come right on in, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Here's your Tim Hortons and your Molsons. That's, and that's how, the spirit of Canada manifests.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you look at the cases down south of, okay, guy pulls a gun on cops or a knife or whatever, and cops gun him down because after some time of trying to get the guy to submit, to give up, he doesn't, and they gun him down. Sorry, that's a clean police action, and them protesting that doesn't hold any water.
No.
And Pincalo's right. He was explicitly told by his local police that we are not allowed to defend ourselves, which technically is true. In the courts, though, depending on what happens, I'm just speaking very generally in this case. But yes, if your life is being threatened and you defend yourself, generally the courts will take it very easy on you. But yeah, technically under the law, we can't even protect ourselves, which is all kinds of fucked up.
If somebody breaks into your house and tries to kill you,
well, I almost
and you kill them, then you can still be charged with.
If I may, quick story time.
Sure.
Functional was once in an altercation, drinking with some friends downtown, clubs, whatever. And walking from one club to another, I heard something, like muffled, like whining, screaming, half sex type stuff. Long story short, I saw a guy who was clearly sexually assaulting someone in one of the side alleys.
Yeah.
I started approaching. I said, "Hey, are you okay? Are you okay?" Trying to identify the situation. I'm not just going to go in blind. And I saw that his hand was around her mouth, and she was like, "No!" And so I said, "Yo, get the fuck off of her, or I'm going to, get you." Nothing happened. I started taking more steps closer. My friends are fucking chicken shit, just standing there looking at me from 20 feet away. I'm now like 3 feet away from the guy. I said, "Buddy, let her go, or there's going to be problems." Didn't let her go. I fucking just drove my elbow into the back of his skull.
Nice.
While my other hand was going to protect her from his head going forward, so trying to grab his face.
Yeah.
He bit my hand as I elbowed him into my hand, cracked open the base of his skull, so he was bleeding, and then he got aggressive towards me, and that's when my friends stepped in. One of them called the police. There was witness, but when I was in the what we call here in Canada discovery, the facts of the case, it was basically thrown out. The judge was very nice, and he said, technically what you did was wrong, but I applaud you, young man. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure that this woman appreciates your efforts.
Yeah.
And I said, "Thank you, Your Majesty," because that's how you technically have to refer to justices of the peace in Canada, is Your Majesty. They're an extension of the crown. I said, "Thank you, Your Majesty. I appreciate everything the court's done for me, and I'm just take solace in the fact that what I did was technically wrong, but I saved a person."
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
And he just nodded, and the case was thrown out, and that was a huge in
I
my
bet.
life, because having a criminal record, even for something as small as assault, still kind of not a good thing to have.
No, because, like, then you have to go and explain it. And, like, I
Yeah.
mean, like, your story's not a bad one to explain, but
No,
still.
saving a woman from rape. What is more chivalrous than that? And he wasn't at the point where I think he was fully penetrating her, but his pants were down. He was trying while holding her, and I don't want to get too graphic,
Yeah.
but he was at the point where if I wasn't there at that time, I think it would have progressed to full blown, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And it's still, even being in the situation, the hindsight of it, I was terrified.
I bet you were.
I don't know what he has. Does he have a gun? Does he have a knife? Does he know jujitsu or something? Like, I don't know these things. So I put myself on the line to help somebody, and that's just my that's who I am as a person. I will do the best I can within reason to, if I see somebody suffering or about to suffer, I'll intervene. Ooh, Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, so I found a story this morning. Somebody who was analyzing, I guess, the trailer for Melina, and it apparently was too gory for them.
What?
It's the article is titled Mortal Kombat 11's. Where is it here? Mortal Kombat 11's Ultimate's Melina gameplay trailer is somehow gorier than I thought it would be. It's Melina in Mortal Kombat.
Mortal fucking Kombat.
What the fuck were you expecting?
Their selling feature for their product, their IP, is the fact that it's gory and brutal.
Yeah.
Like, have you never seen a fatality before in your life, buddy?
So, it says yesterday, a new Mortal Kombat 11 gameplay trailer featuring returning fan favorite fighter Melina. That's a hard way to say. Fan favorite fighter. Whew. That's
some alliteration there.
Fan favorite fighter Melina was teased via an unusual medium of an Instagram post, or an Instagram ad featuring pop star Megan, some chick that I have no idea, dressed as the character. Now the trailer is here, and it highlights the Psy-wielding genetic experiments. Whew! Wordy. Toothy maw and sharp knives. There's a lot of blood. It's Mortal Kombat, so of course that's to be expected. But even so, I was surprised. I was surprised by the moment when Melina pins an enemy to the ground and then plays the knife game a la Bishop from Aliens on their face. Even holding her hand up afterward to check she hasn't stabbed herself.
That's hilarious.
It's Melina! What the fuck are you expecting? What, oh my god. I was surprised again when the move where she repeatedly stabs an enemy in the stomach, you mean the Baraka Barrage?
Yeah.
Bites half their neck off, throws her knives through their eyes, and then comes back to rip off the other half of their neck. Turned out not to be a fatality. No, it's their fatal blow. This person hasn't played Mortal Kombat 11. This is a new person to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
No, the fatality comes after that, when she leaps into the air, spins herself up into a purple Sonic the Hedgehog, and then straight up bifurcates someone who should already be dead already in a shower of intestines. Mortal Kombat knows its audience. Yeah, and you clearly aren't part of it.
Yeah, I'm watching the trailer now. I mean, it's actually not that bad. It's not the worst I've seen.
Yeah. I can't wait to play her, actually.
She looks like a good character, yeah. Quick, got some really good moves.
A purple Sonic the Hedgehog. 12-year-old talking. Or 12-year-old. Yeah, one of the guys I was watching break down the trailer called it a Blanca ball of death at the end. The fatality.
My favorite so far from what I saw in the trailer was the one where it says, you know, she stabs them, jumps behind them, and then like bites their neck.
Yeah.
Bites the jugular. That looks like a freaking cool move.
I think that's the fatal blow.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, this person is whiny.
Yeah. Sunseal basically says, these journalists don't even know what Google is, apparently. How much do you want to bet they just saw some Mortal Kombat is problematic video and decided to make an article? Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah. It is PC Gamer, after all. They're not as bad as some of the SJW-leaning outlets out there, but they have been invaded, as you can tell from this article.
Yeah. So it says, Molina is part of the Kombat Pack 2 DLC, along with Rambo, which will be out on November 17th. Rambo and Rain.
Awesome. Yeah, because I don't play Mortal Kombat. All I know from Mortal Kombat is what I see you play. I like it. It's just Mortal Kombat was never my game. I was more of a Street Fighter guy.
Yeah.
But I love watching it, especially when you're beating people up as Joker, and I'm laughing at them, going, "Haha, you got beat up by a blind girl."
Or you'd see me deal with people who like beat me by doing one thing over and over again, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
The cheesy duck punch, punch. It's like, fuck off, dude. Learn to play a video game.
Or the other ones where they go boing, boing, but they're just jumping.
Yeah, with their light hits.
Yeah. Poke, jump, 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 poke, poke.
Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
Oh my god. So I have one more story.
All right.
About somebody who got stuck in a whale's mouth.
Oh, the kayakers.
This is one?
Yes. This is insane. Let's dive into this one because this one is insane and has a happy ending. So,
all right. So this person, this Californian person, I think was a humpback that she got stuck in the mouth of. It was crazy. Says California how's it pronounced?
Kayaker.
California kayaker who was engulfed in a whale's mouth.
Yeah, probably thought she was just a fish near the surface, went realized it wasn't and spit her out.
Just, sea kayaking along. Oh my goodness.
Well, you can't see the picture, but they're actually very close to land. Because in that part where the kayakers and recreational activities go, you're in fairly deep, to us, waters.
Yeah.
But it's a hot spot of humpbacks all along the western coast, like that, from BC down to Cali. Yeah.
So this says, where is it? Julie McSwirly says
Swirly, but Swirly is hilarious.
Yeah. She learned an important lesson after she and her friend ended up in the humpback's mouth. Or a humpback mouth. Yep. Whales need their space. No shit.
Biggest mammals on the earth. Yeah, give them some room. You're actually in their space, buddy. So.
Yeah. McSorley and Liz Cottrell, weird, were kayaking together in California's San Luis Obispo Bay on Monday morning, watching the whales feed on silverfish, when one of the massive sea creatures surfaced beneath them. Oh dear! Toppling their kayak and knocking them into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
Because I don't know if you know this about humpbacks. They are actually very sociable
Yes.
with humans.
Yep.
And the rule of thumb is if they approach you, just remain calm. If you're in a boat, turn off the engine, don't splash, don't go nuts.
Yeah.
Let them have their space, let them say hello, and then let them go away. Because they will not hurt you, generally.
Yeah.
And they'll leave you alone. They're just kind of like, oh, what's this? Hey, buddy, how's it going? And they'll like flap their flippers, they'll splash in the water, and then they'll go off and do whale things.
Yeah, they're just like, hello.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What is that toy thing?
Yeah, which is again what I can only assume happened in the whale's mind when this happened. As they feed, what they do is they circle and then they go up.
Yeah.
So he was probably just taking a big mouthful of krill, too close to the surface, caught them, and it's a kayak. He can tell something was wrong.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So it says, videos and photos from other kayakers and paddlers appear to show the women and their kayak being momentarily engulfed in the whale's mouth. Oh dear. Though the two friends say it all happened too fast for them to be sure. So he probably engulfed them when he took the gulp of krill and then went, ugh.
Yeah. I don't want none of this. This doesn't taste good. This isn't my food.
It's definitely woke me up to the realization that, our place is not in the feeding zone of whales. No shit. McSorley told
say.
McSorley told As It Happens host Carol Off. Huh. We didn't think we were that close, but we definitely were right in the area we shouldn't have been. So I learned my lesson big time.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think that she's too much at fault.
No,
it was probably
not.
something that caught her very by surprise.
Yeah.
Luckily,
I would
no harm,
like
no foul.
Go and like it would be cool to at least once in my life get to touch a whale or something. That would be cool.
Yeah. I don't think that they. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that things like that. It's more dolphins that have been more domesticated.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How's your rib, by the way?
Oh, that's why I'm muting myself when I'm coughing, because I'm screaming like a little girl. It's actually, I'm actually feeling a lot better. It's just when I cough or stretch too far, I feel a little something, a little off, something off, and I have to remember, take it easy.
Yeah. Oh, hail blue whale! This is why whales are better than sharks. A shark would have just bitten her in half. Yep.
Yeah, he would have kept. He would have just kept chewing.
He would have gone, "Woo, a free meal." Oh.
Meat. He would have bitten through the kayak and just been like, "See ya. There's blood in the water now." Al-Hut Al-Azim be unto your name.
Oh, so that's.
But you're right. You're right. I would love to have an experience, like even just be in the presence of the whale.
Yeah.
Like like I said, on a boat, they happen to come close and just smell the mist, feel the mist on my skin as they're splashing about, surfacing, hear their sounds, because when when you're above water, you don't hear the whale song, but they still will make like sounds.
Yeah, like clicking noises and spouting noises.
Yeah, very similar to what dolphins do. Yeah.
Yeah,
and they're
I
just
really like to hear them in I've only ever heard, recorded whale sounds, and I would love to just hear them in the in
nature.
the wild.
Yeah. In their natural environment. Yeah. And just to you don't even have to see it, but feel the presence
Yeah.
of such a large creature. Because, you know, people can see pictures of them and watch videos and stuff, but they don't have a true understanding of how big some breeds of whales are.
Yeah.
It's truly
the
amazing.
blue
Like I
whales
haven't seen them firsthand, but
blue whales in particular,
yeah,
they're so big.
blue whales, sperm whales, humpbacks.
Yeah.
They're massive creatures.
It's insane to think that something got so big on our planet with, and there's no way they can, because as soon as they get beached, they can't, they're so heavy, they
They have that weakness, yeah. And in the water, they're graceful, they're live, they're quick.
Yep.
And, you know, speaking to what you were just saying, they're not alpha predators.
No.
They're omnivores. They're gentle giants of the sea.
Yep.
Or the oceans, I should say, not sea.
And then you get orcas. Orcas are mean.
Yeah, they're bright bastards, aren't they? When they start
are.
butting things and like territorial. Ugh.
They're like a mix between dolphins and sharks, because they're like smart, but they're nasty.
They can be vicious. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's why, like, if you're out in the wilds, you got, no matter what it is, even if it's a tiny little floofy buffalo baby or a giant humpback whale, you give the animal its space, because you don't know how they're going to react, how their kin are going to react if they're around them.
Yep.
Give wild animals their space.
That buffalo floofy baby can have a mean mama.
Yeah, oh yeah. And that mean mama ain't gonna care if you're a human being. They will run you the fuck over. They will punch you into next week.
Yep.
Floofy little baby buffaloes are so cute, though. Oh,
well, we've come to the end of the coffee stream. I have a floor to wash.
another
Yay.
week under wraps. Good show.
And,
Oh, it's been a good week for your show. There've been a lot of interesting topics that you've torn into that aren't just the election.
It's been hard to find stuff that's not the election, because and I feel kind of bad for the citizens of the U.S. because not only are they dealing with obvious election fraud.
Yeah, it is looking that way.
This is just dragging on and on and.
It is and it isn't, because if I may, things like this have happened before. Sure, the only thing that is projected to have been close to as long as this is going to take was the 2000 election, Bush v. Gore, in one state.
Yeah.
This is now several states.
Yeah.
And it's even a bigger case, because look at how technology has progressed. Everybody has cameras.
Yeah.
Everybody can witness this stuff in real time. And election counting in the past has taken days longer, weeks longer than maybe it should have, or what they were projecting. But right now, it's not that unheard of. However, the projections do say this could take the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Which is problematic, because, January, somebody's got to be sworn in.
Yeah.
And that creates a whole nother plethora of problems all over the place.
It does. I do not envy the U.S. right now.
Yeah. Because like we said when last time I was on the show, we almost came under an election that would have been a testy election.
Oh, yeah.
And we avoided that. So that's a boon. Now we just get to sit here with our ketchup chips and watch America.
Yep.
Ketchup chips and Tim Hortons.
Yay! Except not their coffee anymore, because it's awful.
Yeah, I prefer McDonald's.
Me too!
You know why?
McDonald's coffee has gotten so much better.
Tim Hortons lost their contract with their supplier many, many moons ago. I think it was like 2011, 2013, somewhere around there. And McDonald's was like, boom, we're snapping them up. Now, McCafe is the old beans that Tim Hortons used to use. That's
Ah.
why McCafe has just exploded all over Canada, and to a lesser extent to America. Not only because of their coverage, but because they put the better product out there. And I don't like the new Tim Hortons coffee.
No.
It tastes
It's
I don't want to
watery.
say tinny, but it's got that same kind of feel on your tongue
Yeah.
as when you taste metal.
Yep.
I don't like that.
I wonder, because they keep bouncing from country to country too.
Yeah.
They're growing. And I'm
Because once they
wondering-
lost that contract, they've been struggling.
I'm wondering if it's also the pesticides that are used on their beans.
Possible.
Well, on that note, my friends, I am going to go and get my floor clean, because that's the one bad thing about having tile floors throughout your house is
Hardwood
can-
too. I run into that. I've got
we
all
have-
hardwood
Yeah, we've got all hardwood, or like it's hardwood and tile throughout
and
the
tile.
house.
Yeah.
So like you can wash and scrub it, and then like 3 or 4 days later, it's like,
Especially if you got kids.
yep. And they're not
It's
here
like
right now, so I'm.
it's
gonna
like you
take-
clean it, you look away, you look back. What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much, especially with the 3-year-old. So,
But that's cool. Yeah.
thank you everyone for watching, and
Thank you for having me on again. Yeah.
you're very welcome, Functional. And
It's always a good time.
tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, the Star Trek stream will be back, and we will be discussing the cast of TNG, the bridge.
Nice.
TNG. So,
I can't wait until you guys sink your teeth into that one. I've been waiting for that one.
so that'll be happening tomorrow, and then
If I
one
can-
special on on Sunday. Would you like a link to come and talk about it?
You want me on?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Yeah, hit me up tomorrow afternoon, and I love my Trek.
Exactly.
And if I can just say, Wednesday I'm on again?
Yes.
Right? Yes. Okay, so I'll be back here on Wednesday with BP. You guys should be watching all week anyway. And tomorrow night is my night on Minions of the Zoo. And hopefully, Harry, myself, and whoever else is going to be joining us, we're not going to get too involved in election stuff and hopefully talk about the other stuff that's going on in the world. Because
Hopefully.
yeah, we like to make it a much easier, more thought-provoking day of the Minion streams to sit down and just talk like friends about some of the topics and issues that are going on that might not be the biggest of issues, but it's nice to just talk with friends and shoot the shit, as it were, online about things that are kind of serious and kind of affect our everyday lives.
Yep.
But thanks again for having me on. It's always great.
You're very welcome, and thank you guys for watching, and we will see you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Bye, guys.
Make it so.